This is why Pharaoh Khafre has left archaeologists terrified. Pharaoh Khafre, his name alone strikes fear into the hearts of those who dare speak it. This man who ruled over Egypt 4,000 years ago has become infamous in modern times due to his supposed terrifying curse. However, the trouble he seems to bring those who disturb his final resting place did untend with his death. It continued well into the future. It all started when archaeologists believed they had finally uncovered every secret that his pyramid held. They had been searching for years to find out everything there was to know about this great ruler. But it seems their efforts were not enough. In recent years, a new discovery unearthed. There was more to discover inside the Great Pyramids than researchers had ever imagined. While exploring further, they stumbled across 3 hidden chambers below the ground. And as soon as they realized what they had found, they knew things were about to change drastically. They quickly set to work opening up the sealed passageways, eager to see what secrets lay within. As they chipped away at the stone blocking their path, the reality of what they'd soon behold dawned on them. They were about to enter a part of the pyramid never meant for human eyes. As the dust settled and light poured into the room, revealing its contents, everyone was shocked by what they saw before them. There was clearly something very important hidden in this underground labyrinth, but it was also clear that whoever had put it there didn't want anyone to see it. Hidden in plain sight, the team had uncovered an entrance to a series of underground tunnels, and it became obvious that this was no accident. Someone had deliberately concealed them from view. So what could be so important that the builders would take such extreme measures to protect? And why did they feel compelled to keep this particular area a secret for thousands of years? What they found in the chamber terrified them. The paintings on the walls weren't the usual hieroglyphic writings used by Egyptians of that time. Instead, they contained strange markings which looked like warnings or even curses. It was one of the creepiest things they had ever seen. The researchers were baffled, because these symbols were unlike anything they had ever seen before. They did not resemble any known form of ancient Egyptian writing and seemed to be nothing more than random shapes and lines. As the experts examined these strange etchings, they began to realize that each symbol had a deeper meaning. Some appeared to be representations of powerful gods, while others looked like warnings about the consequences of disturbing whatever lay ahead. They felt as if they were being watched, but when they turned around, there was no one there. All they saw was darkness, a vast emptiness that seemed to stretch on forever. What happens next will shock you. As the explorers ventured deeper into the uncharted territory, they heard unexplained sounds. At first, it was just a low rumbling noise that seemed to come from deep within the earth itself. But then they started hearing whispers, faint voices speaking in an unknown language that sent shivers down their spines. It was as if the walls themselves were trying to warn them to turn back before it was too late. No matter how hard they tried to ignore it, the unsettling sound only grew louder until they could make out words being spoken directly to them. The explorers were terrified and unsure what to do. The eerie whispers seemed to grow in intensity, making it impossible for them to concentrate on their mission. To make matters worse, no one else believed them when they told stories of what was happening inside. They were told that all they had encountered was simply a figment of their imagination, that there was no way such things could exist in the real world. But as time went on, more explorers came forward with similar tales, each one adding another layer of mystery to an already puzzling situation. Their friends and family tried to convince them that what they were experiencing was not real, but no one could deny the evidence. The whispers were getting louder, clearer, and more insistent. One day, several members of the excavation team entered the site, but they never came out. Nobody knows exactly what happened to them, but some believe that they may have been taken by an unseen force. The workers who had gone missing were never found, and no one knew what had happened to them until many years later, when another team went into the pyramid to investigate. After hours of searching, they finally discovered the truth. The missing workers had fallen victim to a mysterious illness while exploring the tunnels. They had become suddenly weak and sick without any warning, and no amount of medicine could help them. When doctors examined their symptoms, they were unable to diagnose anything wrong, and the patients eventually passed away. It was a devastating loss for their families, but it also served as a reminder of just how dangerous exploring these ancient ruins could be. Some say the workers were cursed by angry spirits that had been disturbed by the digging. Others believe that the illness was brought upon them by vengeful gods who wanted to protect their sacred ground from further desecration. But one thing is certain, the ancient burial chambers beneath Pharaoh Khafre's pyramid were full of secrets, ones that should have remained hidden for eternity. The team's worst fears were confirmed when they found evidence that the rooms had been sealed off centuries ago. No one had entered them since the pharaoh's death, and no one knew why. There was no doubt that what they were witnessing here was something truly special, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that could change history forever. As the explorers continued their journey through the darkness, they began to notice signs that someone had been here before them. There were markings on the walls and scratches in places that indicated someone had tried desperately to escape. It was as if whoever had been trapped inside wanted to get out, but couldn't. Whatever had captured them was far too strong for them to break free. Despite these warnings, the explorers pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets of the pyramid. They refused to let fear stand in their way. But what they found in the depths of the ancient burial chamber would haunt them forever. At the end of the tunnel, they found a large sarcophagus made of solid granite. It was decorated with intricate carvings of gods and mythical creatures that were supposed to protect the pharaoh on his journey to the afterlife. But it was the chains that really caught their attention. They had never seen anything like it before. Instead of finding an empty tomb, as was customary in most Egyptian burials, they found a massive stone coffin that had been sealed shut with heavy chains from the outside. It was clear that whoever had been buried inside was not supposed to come out. The explorers were horrified, realizing that what they had stumbled upon was no ordinary burial chamber. This was a prison. As they stood staring at the sarcophagus, they could feel the presence of something dark and evil emanating from it. It was as if whatever was inside was trying to break free of its confines and drag them down with it. The team leader reached out to touch the cold hard surface of the stone coffin, and in that moment, he felt a jolt of energy run through his body. He pulled his hand away quickly, as if burned, and backed away from the sarcophagus, his mind racing with questions. What kind of power was trapped inside this ancient prison, and why had the pharaohs gone to such lengths to keep it contained? The answer, they soon discovered, was more terrifying than they could have ever imagined. As the explorers began to piece together the puzzle, they uncovered a legend that had been passed down through generations of locals. It told the story of a great evil that was sealed away in the depths of the earth, a malevolent force that must never be unleashed again. According to the tale, Pharaoh Khafre had discovered an ancient artifact that gave its user unimaginable powers. But with great power comes great responsibility. And soon he realized that he couldn't control the forces he had unleashed. In a panic, he ordered for it to be sealed away in the deepest chambers of his pyramid, where no human would ever stumble upon it again. But as we know, the explorers found it anyway. And now they were faced with a terrible decision. Should they open the sarcophagus and risk unleashing an ancient evil into the world, or should they leave it undisturbed and let the legend live on? The answer, however, might be more obvious than they think. For centuries, the sarcophagus has remained untouched, kept safe by ancient magic and guarded by the spirits of the dead. If they truly want to honor the wishes of the pharaohs, then they must keep it that way. But not everyone agrees. Some experts argue that the potential rewards of discovering what lies within outweigh the risks involved in disturbing such a powerful relic. Perhaps it is our curiosity and thirst for knowledge that will be our downfall. But one thing is certain, the consequences of opening this ancient burial chamber could echo throughout time. So the question still remains, what will they do? Will they listen to the warnings of those who came before them? Or will they risk everything to uncover the secrets of Pharaoh Khafre's final resting place? We can only wait and see. Thanks for watching. What do you think about this terrifying discovery? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos.